everybody, this is BKC back in modded Borderlands, and today we're going to go try to get rolling. And what I want to continue talking about is basically what I wanted from Borderlands and what other people in the past have said they wanted from Borderlands. And like I said, people wanted cryo, but then we got cryo. Then I honestly didn't. Like I said, I kind of like the concept of it, but I don't like it because I don't like shooting things that are standing. I don't like doing this. Oh, look, there's a frozen guy right there. Oh, you know.
I used to be a millionaire, you know.
It's just, that wasn't cool. And some of the things people say that, like, and people are like, oh, we want weapons crafting in Borderlands. Well, go play a game about weapons crafting, because that's not Borderlands. Let's say I wanted a perfect Hyperion shotgun. Well, I had a low level one with the Hyperion barrel on it, and this one's a pretty good shotgun. So, okay, well, I just go take this to Marcus, and then he throws the Hyperion barrel on it, and then I find another shotgun, and then I put a Hyperion grip on it, and then, I don't know if this is called the stock or the grip. I get that confused. Okay, and so let's say I got a perfect electric conference call at level 15. Then what? Why play the game? Why open chest? I got the gun I want. The perfect ultimate weapon, you know? This is a pretty good sniper rifle. To be honest, let's see. Inspect. Let's see if there's anything I want. Yeah, I'd probably just change the accessory. Put a Jacob's grip on it. And change the accessory. Maybe put a different scope on it. I always thought this one looked cool in its colors that it's in, but you know, what do you got to do to get the parts to craft a gun? Oh, you got to go farm bosses and kill stuff? Well, then why do you need weapons crafting? And you can see where it took us with 2K Australia on the pre-sequel. They didn't understand what their audience. Did I look in this? They didn't understand what their audience. They didn't understand Borderlands. They wanted to build a Borderlands game, but they didn't understand Borderlands. I think they thought they knew what Borderlands, and they did pretty good on the, you know, better balancing, but I still don't think it was perfect. I thought they maybe took the shields up a little too much. I don't think the cryo was perfect. I think the loot pool was crowded on a game that was shorter with less DLC. That's a bad thing. They added a weapon type that I was kind of indifferent to. I'd rather have revolvers back than lasers. Because if you would have put revolvers in there, like Nisha would have been like, instead of you know, one shot and trash mobs, you could save her action skill for bosses, and she would do just devastatingly massive damage to a boss and make her a little better for boss raiding. Because solo on the bosses with Nisha is kind of not the funnest thing in the world. And but let's say you did get revolvers instead of. If Borderlands comes back with cryo the way it is in the pre-sequel, I'm not gonna like cryo. And then if they make it mandatory like they did slag, then I'm really not gonna like it. And then you know, if they kept slag and they kept cryo, then we have 10 different manufacturers instead of 8. And then we keep lasers and we put revolvers back in. Then we have, let's say we end up with 9 characters, because I noticed this with Krieg. The night Krieg released,
Hey, you found a customization station. You can use this to change your appearance and reset your skill
The night Krieg released, I was playing one of my accidents, and I opened up a chest, and there was a Krieg class mod in there. And you know, normally when the game was brand new, you would open a class mod chest, and there'd be a class mod for every character in there. And then, so if you was playing with 4 people and they all was using different characters, well, then everybody had a class mod. Well, when they came out with Gage and then they put Krieg, you open up a chest mod, only 4 characters could get it. And sometimes there'll be like 2 sirens, you know, 1 0 and 1 Krieg class mod, and you're playing as Axton. And it's like, well, that kind of sucks. So it's basically like what it's doing is it's putting in so much different stuff that, like, if you play it, like, you're just like playing Nisha, like, I just want a freaking Jacob's iron. I don't care if it's blue, I don't care if it's green, if it's purple. I just want a freaking normal, everyday, common Jacob's iron, and you just couldn't get one because you open up and it's like, oh, it's all white fire laser, you know, 10 chests of white fire lasers, grenade mods, and comms that don't even fit your character. On a shorter game, to me, kind of made the game just not. If I never felt like I was getting anything, and then so I said, screw this, I want a specific gun, and they didn't have no drop rates for that, no assigned loot drop for that. Then I was like, well, how do I get what I want? You know, how do you get a Hail in the pre-sequel? I don't know. And then since the game wasn't fun, and a lot of the Borderlands YouTubers who were big for Borderlands 2 couldn't figure it out, like, how do you get all this gear? You gib it in, then everybody gets mad at you because you use gib. And you never show the drops. So I didn't like the pre-sequel for that reason. When you're going up to fight the Sentinel after you fight that big old thing that takes place a bunker, all you get when you do get into the vault, all you get is white fire laser, 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 white fire. And it's like, stop with the white fire lasers and just drop anything different. And so I think what they did is they kind of got all proud with their, you know, look, we added lasers. Okay, yeah, well, I don't give a crap about your crap lasers. I just want a damn Jacob's freaking iron pistol, and you just can't get one. And I thought that was sad. And then, what do you want a Jacob's iron pistol? So you could shoot at frozen enemies like this. This is fun. Doing this is just fun. Oh, he's frozen. Oh, this is fun. You know, a moving enemy is like more fun.
Pre-recorded message begins.
The bloodshots are killing
But if they just would have reduced their
Pre-recorded
movement
message ends.
speed, then I think I'd be a lot better with it.
Yeah, bloodshots wiped that place out, but good. After all,
So,
kicked them out of sanctuary.
you know,
might be able to turn everything back on
They
if you
come back
activate
with all
that
that, the
scene,
loot pool's gonna get real bad, and then like, okay, well, if you've got to find like 3 or 4 of, like, you have to find like the same rarity Hyperion shotguns and with a really crowded loot pool. Good luck with that.
Ping-pongs ain't working either. I see your problem.
And then
I'm
once
gonna
you got
take
the
this slow so as you can understand, alright?
you know, the
That
people who
thing's
like the
broke
form,
as hell. Well, better scavenge some replacement parts from the other pumps near the motel.
and people like the farm and stuff,
Now the valve you're looking
and
for
like
is
that
way
kind of
up at the
stuff,
tippy top of that
with the
pump.
crowded
You have
loot
to climb
pool
your
where
way
you
up
gotta
that
play the
thing
game
like
like
snort
6
out the rear end of my
times.
slag bin before I
Find,
get at it.
you know, I would just rather farm a boss 20 times, you know, and just get that perfect gun, you know. I
Some
would,
skag like turned
if
off
you're
our
doing
steam
it for a
pump.
trophy,
Perforate 'em.
then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you get it. So I don't think weapons crafting is like this really good thing. I bought Fallout 4 thinking that, you know, it was the first time that they kind of made a Fallout game that you could use directly as a shooter without that stupid, oh, click on an enemy, then click where you wanted to shoot them based on the percentage chance that you had to hit, and then you'd have weapons crafting, and I was like, oh, I bought Fallout 4 just because of that, and then found out the game was garbage. Sorry if you like Fallout 4. I don't. If you look at any of Rag's videos on why he thinks it's kind of like just a mediocre game, and he didn't really like it either. He's got a video for that, and I just thought it was kind of like it was going to be the first time we're going to get a Fallout game, open world, where we could just actually shoot with guns. But then the way they do their basically copy paste Skyrim and did their difficulty system to where you get different modifiers for like how much weapon damage the enemy does to you versus how much they do to you do to them versus they do to you. Is like, well, I would want 1-to-1, but then 1-to-1 didn't feel right. It didn't feel like a take cover type shooter. It didn't feel like a you know, so I went right. I mean, I literally played it. I started trying to download mods and put things to make it feel better, make it more fun. The skill tree was garbage. It was just like, oh, here's a couple percent better here. Here's a little bit better this. You get more bottle caps when you loot. It's like, yeah, that's all garbage. So I went right back to, like, that sent me straight back to Borderlands. And I really started thinking about what I would like at Borderlands and what I really truly didn't like. Like why don't I like Salvador? Because just telling Gearbox I don't like Salvador because I feel like he's a little overpowered and nobody else can heal off of their action skill out the gate, which is not 100% true because Creek can heal off his action skill out the gate.
You went and found the gearbox, huh? Man, those gearboxes
every character could get 200% gun damage by critting.
Go ahead and plug her in.
And then that's what kind of led me to why I don't like Salvador. You don't crit with Salvador. A critical is something that happens with Salvador while you're just spraying and praying with him. And so, yes, he has always on 200% gun damage when you're gun zerking, but with Maya, I could just pull out a sniper rifle and I have even more damage than that if I land a crit, which is more fun. Ooh, look, Doc Mercy's there.
That acid rain!
Try for another Infinity.
You won't enjoy this.
I mean, you know, with Maya able to phase lock things, basically I am shooting things that are standing still, but this is one character, not, you know, that's how Maya deals her damage, is by early game you just snipe. I gotta get somebody, cause
Hold it right there. That was
this is
interesting.
a sweet release bag. That's kind of how Maya does it. And then she gets scorned, and then you can start adding damage onto your phase lock and converge, which is like just a singularity. And I hate how they put their backs against those walls, and then their butts are sticking through it. You don't know if they're on this side or at least this guy. But, you know, Maya is a character, not an entire game. With the pre-sequel, all 6 characters are basically shooting at, you know, and do they have the skills of Maya? No, not all of them do. Yeah, there definitely was a chest. That mod is not working for sure. I'm going to have to figure it out now. It adds like a chest up there. It adds some in the vault of the warrior. When you're fighting a warrior, you can actually get some chests. But you need to know the way to get up there. Then there's some, like, I haven't found all of them, but there's a lot of them scattered around. And I thought it was actually an interesting mod because that made the game kind of new again, because there's chests in the game that I still don't know about. But, you know, that's something I hope they would kind of do in Borderlands 3. Not just these fixed chests, and then if you're at this level, you can't get these guns, or, you know, or get these class mods until this certain level. And have chests move, and more secret chests, and like Borderlands 1, you had all the chests on the roofs, and what was it, New Haven? Or it was New Haven.
I bet you my remaining kidney, that pump right there, still got a working capacitor.
That's
Just slip over the bolt case and
but
grab that sucker duck.
I don't really know how Borderlands could actually have crafting, actual true. Come on, let me get in there, you fool.
Damn, son! Looks like the skags ate the hell out of that stinkpot capacitor. Better start popping skags until one of them drops it. Ouch! Well, that sure looks like the capacitor I was looking for. Hey, side question. Is it weird when I notice the moment you pick something up, you don't consider it downstream?
I'm terrible with the fastball.
I'm in it like a spine.
I like it, but I'm terrible with it.
Well, either let's plug that pucker in.
God dang, I can't even hit nobody with this stupid thing. I didn't even know the fastball existed, and one day it dropped. Because on most characters I don't do that mission, and then one day I got one, and one of my buddies was he's pretty good with like his aim and stuff, and I'm like, man, you might be good with this grenade. I got this legendary grenade I didn't even know it existed, and this was before they buffed it, and I gave it to him, and he was just murdering stuff with it, and I'm like, I can't even use this stupid thing. And so I gave it to him, and like we'd play together, and he would just murder stuff with that fastball, and then they went and buffed it and doubled the damage on it or something. It's stupid, ridiculous amount. And he's like, man, that grenade you got, I love it. And then so I was like, man, it murders stuff so good. I'm going to try to get good at using it. I don't think there is a slag fastball. I'm going to have to look that up and see if there is.
Critical.
Because a slag fastball, well, it murders everything, so it really doesn't matter what armor it's in. There was a slag fastball. It still murders stuff. I hope they, in Borderlands 3, they kind of take in consideration what each legendary is, and then backtrack from that a little bit. Like maybe have some weaker fastballs. You know, like a purple fastball that's a little weaker, and kind of like what they did with like the magic missile and the what is it? The chain lightning is like a legendary, but you can get just a regular lightning bolt, a blue lightning bolt, and then you can get, I think it's called the meteor storm or fire storm or something, which is like a, I don't know if it's a purple or a legendary. And then you can get just a regular fire bolt ball or whatever, and then like you can get a 4 times magic missile, which is like purple, or a 2 times, which is blue.
Steam pump. Just plug in banana boats.
I hope they do that.
Is juiced up as an Olympic athlete. His parents have unrealistically
To
high
where-
expectations of him.
Maybe make legendaries a little more. I would actually like the rates to be good, but then just make something closer to the legendary, like more variation, like, you know, fastballs that
Pump's ready
are a
to go,
little bit
man.
weaker,
Just turn it on and watch the sparks fly.
or like elemental grenades that you just throw, kind of like what the splat guns used to do. That have like the fastball damage, but you throw them like a flashball, but
ought to be powered up now.
they just.
Switch her on, you should have a buttload of new jobs to
Hey, you! The bloodshot's just crippled my last courier, Dino. I'll
Get a
pay you
car.
if you mail these packages out quick enough.
Get my car ready.
Grab the packages when you're ready to deliver them, kid.
What do you mean leave the car? Where did I leave my car? And then, you know, like say you had a TDR grenade, because really I don't like the lob TDR grenades. I wish all TDR grenades threw like fastballs, because it goes with the TDR reload gimmick. And then just make them, the elemental ones, just, you know, ooze damage, like ooze corrosive on the robots, or ooze corrosive on the fire on the set the guys on fire, you know, because Bandit can take over the mantle of just regular old boring grenades. Look at this fool. Where's he going?
Hold it!
I ain't got time for this, fool. Get out of here. Me too, get out of here. I ain't got time for all that. Deliver the packages. We can fight once I deliver the packages. I don't think that more chests on Pandora Mod did anything to this area. At least if it did, they're hidden chests and I didn't find them. But I hope Borderlands like learns from some of their mistakes, and I hope they try something new. Like, I mean, they did that with Battleborn. They tried some new stuff, but then it kind of failed miserably. Mainly because other games, I don't think they marketed it well enough. And then I think they tried to distance themselves too much from Borderlands
Unfortunately, you're fired,
to prove that they could do something else, and the market doesn't want anything else. And then
tape my legs to these pogo sticks.
Fit as a fiddle, he is.
the people
Anyway,
who
kid,
wanted the
your
type of
severance
game
is in the mail.
Battleborn was playing Paladins already for free, and then Overwatch came out, and I didn't get this one. I don't know. It's like, where am I going? I open the chest, but then I open the chest. Yeah, y'all do y'all little victory dance. I'll shoot you in the head.
Stop struggling.
Stop running. And then, trying to think what else other people were saying. Like I said, everybody wanted cryo, but then, like I said, I don't think it was done the best. I like it, but I don't think it was done the best. And then slag, I don't know. I don't think I don't know if I would say I'm more in favor of not having slag than having slag come back. I would rather cryo come back in a different state because, you know, if Prometheus is a different planet, I hope it has an atmosphere because I don't want to be doing that oxygen bull again. And the whole thing I don't like about the oxygen is 2K Australia is like, oh yeah, we got an oxygen system, and I'm like, well, that's like survival game. I don't want to play a survival game. I want to play Borderlands. But they're like, oh, don't worry, it's not invasive. Well, then why put it in? Why have an oxygen system? And it's like, okay, well, because of the verticality of boosting. Well, then why do we have to breathe the same oxygen we boosted? And people were saying, yeah, like, put the oxygen, like, put fuel and let us have jetpacks. And I was like, no, just leave what was already done for the pre-sequel in there and just make you not consume oxygen because you're on a planet that has oxygen. And then you could just boost all you wanted. You know, and it's like, well, okay, yeah, but then you know, you could just boost all the time. So then it's like, oh, just change it to fuel and make it, you know, you got to have a fuel can to fill up your oxygen. I was like, well, that's the same stupid crap. You're just nitpicking, you know, at this point. And I don't really want it. I don't think it improves the game having all that extra movement.
Gotcha. That was awesome.
Like I said, along with the less chests, because it was a smaller game, since you could get vertical and look at the maps from like a half a mile up, you could slowly jump up from one high area that you couldn't get to in Borderlands. It'd get higher and higher and higher and higher, and then just look down on the map and find all the chests. So they had to hide the chests better. So you got a game with less chests. It's shorter, so you got less chances to get good gear. And then you had to hide the chests because of all the verticality. I would just rather have Borderlands 2 back. I'd rather have a longer game, more chests, that you didn't have to hide as well, so I didn't have to spend 4 hours just to find one chest, you know, or had 500 hours in the game and still like, oh, I didn't know this chest was over here, you know. So I've been missing out on every time I played the game of looting on that chest. You know, I would just rather have more chests. Matter of fact, like I said, do it like 4 times as much, but only twice as much spawns at any given time in different locations, you know. So every time you reload the area, you gotta, you know, like the bandits are moving chests around. And I think that would be a better, you know, situation. And then that kind of fixes the drop rates because, you know, the drop rates, let's say it's 0.5% of getting a legendary in a chest. Well, by increasing the number of chests, you're increasing the chance of getting a legendary out of a chest. Instead of just changing it to 0.1, I mean, you know, from 0.5 to 1, you know, at 0.5, it's going to be 1 in every 200. At, you know, 1%, it's going to be 1 in every 100. Instead of increasing, I mean, since Borderlands was already 100% complete, that was the right thing to do. But they could also knock it back and just put more chests. Just in general, if you beat a small little arena with a little boss, you got a little 2 or 3 little chests to get loot from. That's what I think they should do, and I hope that's what they do.
Why loot the dead when you can buy from me? Tear the bad guy the new one, huh?
I hope that they, I don't know. The fans want another Borderlands game, but I hope they do deliver us a good Borderlands game. But don't get too serious on the story to where
Nobody
it's
seems to
too
be around.
wordy.
Just drive up and honk your horn. Maybe this won't be so hard after all.
Try something different, but not so different. Let's see, what is it? Z? Yeah. Try something different.
Open the gate.
Don't just follow the cookie color. Like, I do want a siren.
Hold it, idiots. That don't look like one
To
of
be
our
honest, if there's no
technicals. They're here for a
commando,
hostage. Get
you
'em.
know, after playing Borderlands 1 with Roland,
You ain't getting in the den that way,
and then 2 with Axted.
Got a trouble with thirst. Go see McKenna out in the desk. She'll hook you up with some Stevie-looking wheels.
Really, I can't phase lock that.
Ellie's way out in Banner Country.
No.
Careful out there, amigo.
Man, I gotta reload. dropped health anyway. Okay, stop that zigzagging. That's it, dude. Serpentine patterns. You don't want to get hit. Serpentine patterns. That my wish for Borderlands is like Lilith. Okay, she's got new after, and this is Borderlands 2, so this is where if Borderlands 3 continues after Borderlands 2, she's got new powers. She says when the vault opened up, and Iridium, you know, she likes this new Iridium stuff, and you know, it made her powers more awesome. So you can kind of redo Lilith as a playable character, redo her, put her in the new engine, redo her skill tree, modernize it, make Lilith a siren. Maya's still around. We could play Maya. Maya isn't affected by Iridium, but who says this because she wasn't exposed by Iridium? Who's to say she isn't exposed by Iridium and then her powers change? And then Axton is better than Roland in every way, so if they wanted to, they could put Axton in there, or if they just wanted to make him like they did in from 2 to 1, just make him an NPC or whatever. Gage is going to be a lot older. Tiny Tina's going to be a lot older. Brick, I don't think I'd want to play as Brick unless they completely redid him. And then I loved Mordecai, so if they redid Mordecai... oh, yeah, Mordecai got a new... I love it. Mordecai got a new bird, so maybe they could, you know, put Mordecai, redo his skill trees for Borderlands 3 and make him a player character with his new bird. And if they did that, I would love to see him. Oh, I gotta get out the car to show that shit. Get up there. I'd like to see slots come back. Elemental, like relic slots. Like they kind of...
I should have killed your fat ass when I had the chance!
Sorry, what was that? You gotta speak up! That was awesome. Oh, howdy! I didn't see you there.
In Borderlands 1, Bloodwing had a slot where you could find these rare, they were basically legendary elemental relics, and you could put it into the slot, and then it would add, like, say if it was a fire element, you'd put it in the Bloodwing slot on his you know, your action skill. There'd be a little slot in there, and you could put that relic in there, and it would make Bloodwing like a level 1 fire, a level 1 fire Bloodwing. And then if you found a corrosive, you could put that in there, and you could switch between fire and corrosive. And I don't remember exactly how it worked, but I remember having a corrosive relic, and I found another one, and I was like, well, let me put it in, and I put it in and made him like a level 2. And I was thinking about that when I was playing Axton. Like, Axton down here has double up where he gets two guns, which doubles the DPS of the turret, but then changes it to slag. And then you could add rocket pods here, and then here you can do longbow, and then down here you could add a nuke, and then here you can add a phalanx shield, and here you could get maglock, and down here you could have 2 turrets. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, at the beginning of the game, wouldn't it be nice to be able to switch the elements on Axton's turret? And I was like, well, Borderlands 1 had that. You could just right up in here in the action skill, you'd have an elemental relic slot. And I was like, well, they could just extend, maybe add like maybe 4 more slots down here. And say for Axton, you could, instead of wearing a cooldown relic, you could put the cooldown relic in the turret slot. And then Let's see, what else? You could have maybe the 2 guns. You could switch the 2 elements between the 2 guns. And then I don't know what the third one... Oh, maybe instead of phalanx shield, you could have a shield slot. And then you could add, like, sharing is caring to Death Trap, to where you could put any shield into the game and your turret would have that shield. So you could have a cooldown relic for Axton. You could have a shield slot relic. And then 2 elemental slots for his double guns. And then... like Maya would have 4 slots, but that would be for her phase lock. So you could put 4 elements, and you could switch the order, because Maya's Ruin would, like, I think do fire. Well, you had fire's up here, and then electrocute, corrode, and slag is down here. And I'm like, that's stupid. They should have just put that all in a 1.1 capstone skill, or separated them out and made, you know, just a 1 damage that does enough damage, just 1 point wonder, a 1 point wonder for corrosive, 1 point wonder, you know, all the different elements separate. Then that's what really gave me the idea. Is like, well, what if she had 4 slots for down here, and you could find these rare elemental slots, and you could just plug them in, and they would stack, and you could just get it more powerful. And you could put, like, so you could have like a rank 3 fire. Well, you do like a rank 1, like you do slag first, and then you could do fire on your maps. If you didn't, you know, you just had all 4 relics, but you can, you know, you can maybe even unlock the slots, you know, based on what your skill tree you're using and stuff. And then I was thinking, like, Death Trap, instead of sharing his care and him having your shield, people would like the Flame of the Fire. I mean, not the Flame of the Fire. Well, the Flame of the Firehawk works on Death Trap too, but people put the Flame of the Firehawk and Hide of Terra on Death Trap, but then that does, it's not the best shield for Gauge. So what people would do was go in their menu, put on a shield, launch Death Trap, go on and put on a shield for Gauge. And I've always found that too, you know, too involved, and I'm never going to do it. So I'd always just find a balance.
Oh, what's in your box?
Ooh, I got a elemental one.
Rolling from the dam, huh? I bet you could fool those bloodshots if you drove up in one of their custom trucks. I got one right over yonder that
on Death Trap, he could have the same shield. Instead of Upshot Robot, you could just lock in the element that you wanted.
Just gotta doll it up with some more of the bandits' trimmings. Spikes,
And
blood,
I
skulls,
thought that would be a
kind
cool
of
thing, because that's something Borderlands kind of had. They had these elemental slots. And I don't know if it was just only on Bloodwing, and I never really noticed it on the other
You'll have to blow
characters.
up some
But
bandit cars and grab the crap from the wreckage. And don't pay them any mind if they start calling you names. Just makes killing them
I
that
thought
much
that
more
would be
fun.
kind of a good idea. Let's see. Let's inspect.
Ah, so you and my sister are getting along pretty well, huh?
The Gwen's head's a
That's
pretty
cool,
nasty
that's
little
cool.
gun.
Of course, you make
Especially if you
fun of
get
the
an
way she
elemental.
looks, so I have to tie you to a vending machine and set you on
Okay.
fire.
This is
But
6.
it's not,
We
it's
can
cool,
get
you
rid
guys
of
are
that.
hanging out, it's fine.
7. Man, I need a new sniper rifle. What is this level? 10. I'm going to get rid of that for right now. I'm going to snipe
Oh,
the
by the way,
fire.
I got my catch-a-ride station up and running again. Just haul your fine self to my garage if you're needing a car.
Don't have too much fun.
There's nothing really in there. We're pretty good on ammo.
Farewell, friend.
That is the place to catch a ride.
So, like, yeah, Salvador, I don't know what you would do with
Valuable armaments
Salvador.
over here. Stay away unless you want to get blasted.
You know, maybe like, I mean, if this was in Borderlands 3, it'd have to be modified to the characters, but I can always use like Borderlands 2 as an example. So like maybe Salvador would have his left hand and right hand and have extra elemental slots, so you could have dual elements, and then that would be like the only character in the game that could modify guns and have dual elements. And then Zero could have a slot for his that skill that he has that makes his deception blow off electricity when his decoy is destroyed. You could actually slot the element you want know, he could have a slot for his cooldown relic. Because I thought his cooldown class mod was kind of crappy.
Just finished prepping my truck for those bandit parts. Just
Maybe he could have a slot for his melee weapon. He could change the element of his melee weapon. I don't know what the fourth slot would be, but you know, just kind of do that, and then you can make more like legendary relics that Borderlands 2 is kind of missing. But the prefix was kind of fixed, but then I didn't find Oz kits as good as good as relics. So but like I said, with all the people saying it, I can't really think of anything else people wanted that I was like just immediately like, no, that's stupid, because any game designer would tell you a game about 870 bazillion guns, which might just be a marketing scheme. I don't really think there's that many guns in the game. I think there's probably only like a couple hundred, and then they're just with different accessories, different prefixes, and then they count every level as being a new gun with every prefix, and then that multiplies into itself. But go get a level 2 interfacer. Yeah, good luck with that. That doesn't count as a couple thousand guns, because it's not available at every level. You know, it's not available at level 2. You know, try to find a stomper at anything other than level 18 and above. You know, so there's a lot of guns that, you know, a pimpernel with all the different grips is a different gun. A pimpernel with all the different stocks is a different gun. Then you mix match all the stocks with all the different grips, and you get, you know, thousands of guns. And I'm like, I don't consider it, you know, with the different elements and stuff. You know, you get thousands upon thousands of guns, and I don't really consider that thousands.
Almost got a bandit car? Roland can handle whatever the Bloodshots dish out, but
and then you
generally
can't get it in every level.
Tortured any longer than I have to.
Go get a level 2 Pimpernel, legit. You know, it just doesn't exist. So that's not millions of guns. You know, that's not thousands of guns just from a Pimpernel. So I don't think there's really that many guns, but if you did have, you know, even if you had, you know, 500,000 guns, why would you design a game like that about going out and looking for these guns and trying to find the perfect one, and then make it to where you could just build your perfect gun? Well, then once you do that, the game is over. And I mean, that's just common sense. That's just common sense game design. You know? You'd be at level 23 and you got your perfect gun. Then what? Like, there's no way for me to make any better gun, you know? Why didn't I get a car? I'm like retarded or something. I came over here to get a car. I grabbed the ammo and just... He's stuck over there. Yes. Lucky for me. Sad for you.
You got the parts? Great! Just bring them back and we'll get you rolling.
Go check a couple chests. They're doing pretty good so far. Get some pretty good stuff. To get grenades, because they're gonna the guy's gonna come over here and try to kill me, and then as soon as I kill him, another one's gonna come.
Welcome, customer. Don't die,
I might have to kill like 5 or 6 of them before they stop coming. I only hold 4 grenades.